Hello, I have 4 o'clock. I was just working on this design that I shared with you the other day. I was going through and adding some pencil graphite to it, which looks pretty good over watercolor. I wasn't sure how it would work out. You know, it's all about experimenting. So, well, hello. How is everyone today? Hi, Marion. Well, I have a few people on, so we will get started while I finish up here. For the last, I'd say a month and a half. Well, I guess. Oh boy, well, maybe 2 months now. We have been doing Zentangles, which is a form of drawing patterns that can be very therapeutic and relaxing. Again, which is probably why I was drawn to it. So I'm going to stop there for right now, and I will jump on and show you what our patterns are for today. So here was a preview of what we did not last week, Tuesday. Boy, it's Thursday already. As usual, we start with our border, which is why we draw in squares. We give ourselves a border and gives us a space to create our pattern. So today, you can use a pencil if you wish. So I have the 28th today. Or if you have a micron pen, welcome to use that. Sorry. Hey, Ozzy. Sorry about that, guys. I believe my husband is home from work and my dog is watching out the window. I apologize. He hasn't seen him, you would think, in like 2 days, but it's only been a day. Our first pattern today is called Growth. Oh, now they're both barking. As always, we start off with our border. And there are certain times when you can add strings, and we haven't really talked about that much lately. So strings are where you draw lines. For this one, I'm trying to think what I did. I gave ourselves 2 loops. I gave myself 2 loops. And that just helps you break up the patterns more. So you can have a lot of fun with adding strings to your designs. So growth, what I'm going to do, it works easier for me. I'm going to draw myself just a real light straight line. And I'm using pencil today just because. We're going to give ourselves 2 loops. Now that I did that okay, I'm going to go a little darker. And then you can go on the opposite side and give yourself 2 more. Mine does not look perfect. I have a hard time being very symmetrical, but that's the best part about Zentangles. They do not have to be perfect. So the next one, you're going to come up. I'm better with the right side than I am the left side. You can make these closer together. You can make them bigger if you want. You can do something like this. That's not what I wanted. You know, this would be a good one to experiment with. I like it a little more free like that. kind of looks like a tree. And then as you go up, ideally you would get a little smaller. So we'll continue there. And you can really make this as big as you want. For our purposes, I will stop here. And then you can add a nice little teardrop shape to the top and have it cross over and give yourself a little line there. Like a mini, reminds me of a little pineapple. So that is growth. Now you could get fun and let me see. What do I want to do here? I'm going off target. So there, I just gave myself a string, and I'm actually going to flip my sketchbook over. So if you were doing this, maybe I'm going to squish it in one area here. You know, nice and tight this time. Get a little smaller. Maybe I'll do one. And you can do something like that. You know, they look a little different, but it's all on what you make it. And if you wanted, you could go and color in the background. Or you could shade the background in. Maybe give yourself a little shadow effect there. You could take your tortillon and blend your pencil in if you wanted. I'm going to drag it out a little farther, but this would be, you know, a nice design to fill in medium space. Or maybe you make it your focal point. But anyway, you can have a lot of fun with that one. Even looks nice upside down. I really like the shading now that I added that. I'm a sucker for a good plain old pencil and paper. What can I say? All right, we will move on to the next one. My goal here is to keep it at about 20-30 minutes. I know we all have lots going on and lots of webinars and things we've been following, so I don't like to keep you too long. I like to be mindful of your time, but I do appreciate you joining me. I've got quite the following these days, and I appreciate it. So this one is Meer, and I'm going to go a little bigger with this one. So a set of parallel lines. I have a puppy coming upstairs. It's my pug. He probably will be over here breathing heavy. It's a little hot for him today. So 2 sets of parallel lines. Yours might not be as wide as mine. You can make it a little thinner. I think I went a little wide, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. The other thing I like about Zentangles is there's really no right or wrong way to do it. Sometimes if you make a mistake, maybe that lends itself well to another pattern. So nice curved line through the center there. And before we go any farther, a series of circles on the edges. My husband might not be home. I have 2 puppies and no hubby. So 2 more, I'm sorry, another row of circles on the opposite side. This one's very symmetrical since we were just talking about how I couldn't be symmetrical with that one. All right, so once we have that done, our next step, again, more parallel lines, but a little more of a diagonal here. You can space them out. That's not very parallel. You can space them out as close as you like or as far as you like, whatever you prefer. And maybe it varies from design to design. It's really your call. Just do whatever feels, more comfortable for you. I'll criticize myself here for a second. These 3 lines are really not that good, but I got better as I went along. So practice does make perfect. On the other side now, we are going to, I'm going to start here. And we're going to do the opposite. And you can use your other lines as guidelines for this pattern. Ooh. Wonder how I did that. Anyway, I'm going to go in and I'm going to add some lines in there. The pattern shows differently, but we'll go in and add those 2 in there. So that is Meer, and again, you could use pencil to add some dimension to this if you wanted to. You could add a little bit of a shadow maybe on the edges. Which I will do. Maybe you add some shading where the circles are. It's really whatever you guys want. This would be a great place to experiment with color. Remember, I pulled out the handy dandy color wheel the other week. This would be a great one to experiment with even complementary colors. You can do red, green, and then just do the opposites just to see how well the colors play off of each other. All right. That is that design. And again, you could go and add some shading there if you want, but I will stop there. You could, a lot of fun with that one. I think I say that with a lot of these designs. But anywho, I think it's fun and I enjoy doing it. Okay. Our next pattern is called Reef. So again, I'm going to draw my border. I'm not sure what I'm getting myself into with this one, so I'm going to give myself a smaller square. And I'm going to start with a shape like this, kind of a oval, kind of an oval, squished circle. There we go. Foreshortened circle. That's the word I was looking for. So I want to add another one here. And this is a pattern that could look different every time you do it too. And another one here. Our next step is adding another one here, and I think we'll add one up here. And again, this is going to look different every time you do it. Even that pattern itself looks kind of fun if you really wanted to experiment. So now what we're going to do is draw a line here and a line here. And I might just expand my shape just a little bit. And then we're going to, I'm going to bring this one up a hair. And bring this one down. the whole way. You're essentially just making a series of triangles, if that helps. Now that I got the words out there. So you could really just play around. And ideally, I wouldn't have had this one share a line. I mean, I could have made this a little bit bigger and brought it over, but not the end of the world. This is a fun pattern and a good one, again, to add shading. Maybe you shade the bottoms there. And then blend it. Boy, it doesn't look like a very good triangle. This is why we practice. If you can't tell, I really do like using my pencil. So I'm going to blend those pencil lines. And there you have it. You could really experiment with this one and even do like a whole tangle, a whole design using this one pattern. I think I have time for one more. This is a silly one and I don't even know how to say it. Enyshou? Your guess is as good as mine. I'm going to start with my border. I'll let you catch up there. This one reminds me of, I can't even remember what it's called now. It was like a floral type of one that we did a few weeks ago. I wasn't necessarily a fan of it, but I probably can't find it now that I want to. I cannot, but floral, maybe jellyfish. You can judge when you see it. So we're going to start with I'll call it a C shape on our page. And then our next step, we're going to add what I'm going to call a petal. Here we go. I got a puppy. Again. I don't know the right way to do this one. So I'll show you my way to do it. I'm giving myself that shape. Hi, puppy. And then I'm going to give myself a series of lines that all meet at that point. For those of you who are new, it is almost dinner time for the dogs. And they like to come up and reassure me that, you know, they're hungry. Our next one, what we'll do is we'll carry it through here. And we'll do that. And then from here on out, it's just a matter of filling in. Because the first two are attached to that shape. So maybe the next one we bring out like this. It is easier for me to just connect the two and then follow the shape. And then maybe we'll have one come out here. And you just kind of start to fill in, you know, where necessary. Maybe we have one come through here and make life a little easier and fill in. Such a matter of just filling up your space and having your design look nice. Which is why I'm throwing this one in here, because this looked This area didn't look so good. So that one looks a little bit better. And then maybe I'll bring another one through here. And I might be okay with that one. If you wanted, again, you could add some shading. You could color that whole top part in black. Maybe you just want to blend it out a little bit. I'd love to see what you're experimenting with. And feel free to share it. You can share it here. You can share it email jcampbell@sama-art.org. Boy, this is kind of all I have for today. I did go through and added more color to this one. Still not a fan. But I'm going to go back. You know, keep working, keep experimenting. I have a ton of designs that are not finished, so my goal was to kind of finish them. And this one I didn't particularly like those colors there, but I played around a little bit and trying to do something with complementary colors. Not necessarily working, but doesn't mean it's a complete failure. It just means it needs a lot of work yet. So this is, I think, one of the patterns that we originally learned that I'm doing now. Fescue, which I really like. Just a fun little organic pattern that I seem to gravitate towards a lot. Just kind of a fan. So I thought I would go and add it around. You know, it's nice you can have them like overlap, cross over. This is where experimenting with all these patterns can come in handy. You know, these designs don't always have to take hours. Maybe sometimes they take 20 minutes. Maybe it's a matter of experimenting. Playing around. And let's see what we have for next week. So next week, I have a couple more designs for you. Looks like we will be doing 3 patterns each day. Sorry, I'm going through my notebook here. And I have some other experiments to do with adding color. You know, if you have black paper, I highly suggest experimenting on black paper. It can be a lot of fun, black and white. Or if you just have white paper, you can just print out a simple design on white paper, give yourself some strings, and fill in my strings here and then across. So I essentially gave myself like 6 areas, although I broke this one up into 3. This is just computer paper and a heart template that I had drawn and shared with you guys way back when. So if you're looking for some patterns to experiment with, you're not ready to branch out on your own, go and check out our other videos, and in the comment section I uploaded designs for you if you want to experiment. I think last week I uploaded my feather pattern for you if you were interested in doing that. Someone said they wanted it, so I shared it. It was a pattern that I drew, but I'm happy to share it with you. And I think I've shown you. I apologize. I'll show you again. Oh yeah, I did. I remember it didn't fit into the screen. I am making bookmarks out of mine, so I'm going to glue them onto the black paper, to get them nice and sturdy. I think my goal was to do 20. I have not 20 done, maybe 6 or 8, somewhere in there. So, my goal is to have a couple of these done. So, challenge yourself and do something small. It doesn't have to be something big. Most of these are 6x6, so they're not overly big or complicated. Just a matter of, what you feel comfortable with and what kind of design you're going to lay out. So on that note, I'm going to keep working on these, but I'm going to let you all go. And maybe I can finish them over the weekend and have finished ones for you to see. I have all kinds that are unfinished. That one's unfinished. This one is unfinished. That one may or may not be. I think that one's finished. And that one's unfinished. But I have more finished than I do unfinished. So my goal for the weekend is to do some homework and work on these when I have a little bit of downtime. So, share your creations with me. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you coming and having class with me, always. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you Tuesday at 4 o'clock. And don't forget our other SAMA locations are offering classes. If you just want to watch or if you want to be creative, we're happy to have the eyes on our Facebook pages. So take care, and I'll catch you Tuesday.